Welcome back. When Danielle Ponder was about 16, her brother was convicted in a robbery case. It was his third felony, so the mandatory minimum applied, 20 years to life. That experience helped cut the path to law school and eventually the public defender's office. But another passion would cut a path to a new place, the stage. As I discovered, though, in my interview with her, whether before a judge or before a crowd, Ponder stays true to herself. Once you got out and you started practicing, you joined the public defender's office. What was that experience like for you?
I worked everywhere from Parma and Ogden to the city of Rochester. And one of the themes you'll see is that almost everyone in the court is a person who is living in poverty. So it was a heartbreaking experience.
How did the singing come about during all this? Because it seems like you were doing very well.
The singing actually came about when I was in college. And then I went to law school and I was still performing, but it was just a side hustle. It was a side hustle. And honestly, I just started getting so much feedback. This is why I always say Rochester made me, because I probably wouldn't be a full-time singer if it wasn't for this community encouraging me and saying, you know what, you're really good. You can really do this full-time. So it just became, you know, like there's this thing I love, and when I do it, I feel so happy about it. Why don't I take the risk and do it full-time?
How do you feel about the decision?
I think it's the best decision I ever made. Is it difficult sometimes? Yes. Am I afraid sometimes? Absolutely. But Monday morning, when you get to decide what you're going to do with your life, that is the most freeing feeling you could ever have. If I had it my way, I would start all over.
How has the music evolved for you since you started this?
I would say this new album that's coming out is much more personal, much more vulnerable. You know, I always sought to do music that was about justice and that was about your own personal healing, and it was always anthemic. That is the type of music I typically wrote. But this music is like really being honest about what my struggles are, and that I don't always feel strong and confident and secure. Sometimes I feel very anxious, sometimes I feel very sad. But the point is you feel those things and you try to do the thing anyway.
Love it. Love that Monday morning line. Ponder performs around the area and occasionally abroad to keep tabs on her concerts and to learn more about the single she just released a week ago. Now, there's a lot you can learn from a link that's in our story at rochesterfirst.com. Danielle, best of luck.